It's quite excited to see a large number of audience have joined the session on a Sunday morning. Cheers and thanks, folks. Hoping to deliver an informative session as much as possible. All right. Before starting the session, I just want to make sure that everyone follows the protocols for the session. The thing is, please make sure that everyone are in mute throughout the session, except the QA time. If you guys have any doubt during the session, feel free to shoot your questions on the chat box. All the questions will be addressed during the QA time. Alright then, it's time to start the session. Okay, here we go. It's today agenda. Today, myself would be covering reports and one of my colleague Madhubala would be covering the dashboards. So first let us go through the introduction to reports, then we will come across like what is a report type in Salesforce, and we'll understand the report builder, like how it's helpful to create a report, and we'll just walk through like creating a report in Salesforce, and we will just cross check with like executing the reports and formatting it for future purposes. And then we'll have a short break. After that, Madhubala would be carrying over this session by taking the dashboards. Alright then, introduction to reports. Okay. We may have came across the word reports in various phases of our life. Everyone would have a different opinion on it, right? So what does exactly a report mean? Let's have a look on it. Okay. In general, we can say that a report is a form of a document that represents a collective information in an organized format. Okay, so then what about the content? The content may vary like based on the purpose or the personas need for the report. That sounds great, right? Okay, in that case, what's a report in Salesforce? To be short, let me tell like it's a list of Salesforce data gathered based on the filter criteria one has implemented for it. As you guys see here, this is how a Salesforce report would look like. Alright, so we have got a brief idea about what is a report. Well, why do we need a report? Let's have a few examples to acknowledge ourselves, like why the purpose of these reports. Okay, analyze trends. So let's assume you guys are working on an organization as a chief sales executive. You may be in need of a monthly trend of our sales, right? So where you can get it? Let's hold this guy once. Next is gathering actionable items. Wow, sounds great, right? As a chief sales executive, again you may be in need of doable action list for the betterment of your organization. But how to get it? Let's again hold this guy too. Now, compiling revenue insights. Fantastic. Your organization CFO needs it. The physical year's revenue insights. How do we proceed? Let the CFO also wait for a moment. Measuring persona's performance. Alright, as a sales executive, you are thinking of rewarding the best sales rep by performing their sales performance. Would it be possible? The answer for all the questions is yes. But how? You're right, you guys have got it. That's through the reports. There we go, folks. Now we may have got a detailed idea about what is a report and why do we need it. Fabulous, right? Wait. Now we have seen like what's a report and why do we need it. But how do we see in Salesforce? Is it possible to save those reports? Is it possible to retrieve those saved reports whenever we need it? Well, the answer is yes. Let me just showcase like how do we navigate to Salesforce to reports in Salesforce. So as soon as you log into your page, you can navigate to the app launcher and select the app whichever you prefer. So right now let me go to Sales. You've got a tab called Reports, right? So here are the reports right now. These are the reports which are right now in this org. Awesome. It's time to know about like What is a report type? Just a moment. Okay. Do you have any primary requisite to create a report in Salesforce? Well, yeah, report types plays a key role there. Okay, then what's a report type exactly mean? Okay, to make it simple, let's think of a template. A report type acts as a form of a template. So a question may arise to you folks, right? Do I really need a template to create a report? I would say yes. Here are the reasons. Salesforce contains a number of objects and fields to gather the data, right? So to specify Salesforce, what are in need of these particular objects reports? Templates helps us. Let's assume we are in need of contact details per account. So what would we do? We would go to Salesforce and we will select a template, which is nothing but a report types in Salesforce term called contacts and accounts. It delivers all the data and metadata of accounts and contacts. Sounds great, right? So as a cherry on top, Salesforce provides us few standard report types, as well as we can create some custom report types also. So let's have a look like how do we create a report types. Okay. So if we navigate to reports, and when I try to create a new report, the first thing it would ask us for a report type. So these are the few standard report types which Salesforce provides us. If you try to select this contacts and accounts, which I have mentioned in the above example, it shows us the details of what are the objects involved in this report type, as well as the fields which are available in this report types. So I think it's loading. If in case I will try to create a custom report type, but how to create it? Let's have a look over it. So let's all navigate to setup. In quick find, let's search for report types. There we go. Let's continue by creating a report. Here it is. So here is the place we are going to create a custom report. Before that, when we create a custom report type, we have to look at some key features it provides us to build the report type. So there we go. So what are the features does a custom report type provides to us? Objects and relationships. Let's see how it supports us. Okay, let me create a new custom report type here. There we go. So each report type contains a primary object. So let's assume a primary object as accounts here, and we need to label this report type. Okay, let me give it as a account enhancement report type. So we got the API name, and we need to give a description like what's about this report type. Okay, so my plan is to create a report type where we need to get the accounts with its opportunities which has quotes in it. I'll repeat, we need all the accounts which has opportunities with a quote in it. So let's give a description about this. All right. So we are going to create a report right now. But where do we save this report? Like, all right. Let me save this in other reports. Okay. So right now, as I'm a Salesforce admin, I can able to see a report before the development also. But what's the case if you are a standard user? Hmm, if it is only in deployed stage, you can able to see a report type. Hope you got this. So let me just move to the next page. There we go. So we got a primary object called accounts. So our aim is to get accounts with opportunities. So let me just click here. It shows all the related objects to accounts. So let me just search for opportunities, and here we go. We need to, as I said, as we see, objects and relationships. So we need to establish a relationship between this account and object, like whether all the accounts must have, accounts which have at least one opportunities, or accounts which may or may not have opportunities. So for our criteria, let's take like accounts which have opportunities in it. And right now we need opportunities which have codes in it. So let's say let's go by creating another lookup here. So opportunities, and here we go, codes. So hope you guys can get this right. We are going to get create a report type with account which has opportunities in it and opportunities which have codes in it. So that's it. If I try to click save, a custom report type would be created right now. There we go. So then what's about these fields included, default fields and field display types? Let's have a look on it. So once you created a custom report type, you can see the fields available for these reports here. If you try to click the edit layout, it showcases the fields which are available for you guys to create, to showcase in the report which you are going to create. So you got the complete list here for account fields. All these fields have been included already. So you can see like all this has been disabled right now. So for opportunities, you can see like you have a number of fields over here, similar to code. You got the fields here. All right. So if you guys think like whenever I create a new report, I need a set of fields to be populated by default without selecting in the reports. So is it possible? Yeah, we can do those things also. So let's edit this. Okay. So edit properties, and you'll get a small pop-up like hope you guys can see this. Okay, you got so we have been selected account number here, and its display label is showing us here. So if you think I don't think to showcase the field name as account number in my report. I would like to showcase like let's say it like a company code, and I like to check this field as default, so that whenever this opportunity report type, whenever this report type has been selected to create a report, this field should be populated defaultly. So if I click OK, so this field will be populated defaultly. So once we are done with this, we can save it. There we go. Now we have created a new custom report types, guys. All right.
Hello, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you here, but after you selected account number, whatever you were typing or doing,
Okay.
I don't think it was visible to us. Maybe you'll have to share
Mm.
your entire screen because it just was hidden.
Okay, just a moment. I'll showcase again. Let me just stop screen once and let me share again. Okay. I'm going to edit a layer. Okay. All right. Let's go with the SLA right now. I'm clicking edit properties. Can you guys see a pop-up right now? Just if in case someone can confirm us.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Thank you guys. So this is the place where you can rename a label of a field only for reports. So right now let me just rename it as service level agreement, and this is the checkbox which I mentioned, like if you think this field should be populated defaultly when you create a report with this report type, here we go. If you click this checkbox, it will be populated. All right. So let me just save this once. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. All set to create a report, right? But we have to see a few advantages of reports before we are going to it, right? So let's see like what are the custom report types advantages rather than the standard report types. All right. In standard report types, you would have like only one primary object and then secondary object related to it. But in custom report types, you can have a primary object with one or up to three additional objects. Right now we have seen, right? We have created a report type with two additional objects along with. So the limitation is we can create another lookup to this account. All right. Relationship establishment. Okay. In standard report type, you would have only like account with contacts, account with opportunities. Whereas in standard report type, you can, I mean, in custom report type, you can create like account with opportunities or account with or without opportunities. We have an advantage for these things, right? All right. Predefined fields. As we have seen right now, if you try to populate some fields predefinedly, when you select this custom report type to create a report, it's possible. As well as we can modify the field labels also. So these are the few advantages of custom report types than standard report types. All right. So before we are going to create a report, we must need to know like where do we create these reports? If we click a new report, does it able to helps us to create a report there? My answer is no. Let me tell you why. Because we need a platform to build something, right? Here in our case, a report builder is the platform which you are going to use to create a reports. So what does exactly a report builder mean to us? Let's have a look on it. As mentioned, a report builder is a drag and drop tool. This is the place where you can create or edit the reports based on your criteria with the help of the formulas, filters, and much more tools which have report builder given to us. All right, it's peak time to explore all of us more about report creations. So before we are jumping to report creation, we must see the few tools which are going to play a key role in developing a report. So here it is: filters, cross filters, filter logic, row limit, and bucket column. So let's have a look one by one right now in the demo part. There we go. Let me select a new report. All right. Let's go with the custom report type which we have created right now. So as you guys remember, we have been stored it in other reports. Well, here it is, account enhancement report type. If you select this report type, it will showcase us the description which we have mentioned along with the details of objects involved in it and the fields involved in it. So you guys can relate, like, so it's acts as a template to create a reports. So let's start this report. There we go. This is the report builder which I have mentioned. This is the tool which we are going to utilize to develop a report. All right. So first, why it's showing like no records returned? Let's check with the filters here. All right. So it showcases like show me only my accounts and create a date with physical year like Jan 1 24 to 31st March 24. So it's Q1, right? Let us make to visible all reports, all accounts. Let me apply it. For time, create a date. So let me go with all time. There we go. So you guys got an idea like what is a filter, right? So in our case, the custom report type is with account, with opportunities and with code. So if you guys think like I need to get all these things but only with closed opportunities, so how can we achieve those things? Well, let me just add another filter here. We can search for closed. There we go. If we click closed and we are trying to select the return type true. Yeah. And what's about this locked? Let's have a look at the end. I'm trying to give it. There we go. These are the two accounts which has opportunities in it in closed stage with a code in it. So hope you guys got some sort of idea about what is a filters. All right. Let me just go with the things which are available here one by one. Okay. Adding a filter logic. This is straightforward, right? So right now we have only one additional filter here. So it's showing as one additional filter. Then what's the case with accounts and time? You may arise a question with this, right? I'll explain. If you guys open any report, it comes with few filters by default in it. Those filters are the record visibility based on the owners, which is here, all accounts, my team accounts, my accounts, and filter by scope. If you guys take this filter, it comes with a date format, right? So it's created date. You can select any date format for this filter, but these two filters will come by default for all the custom report types. So let's again have some other filters so that we can have a look like how does this filter logic works. For that use case, let me just remove this filter first. Okay. Before that, I would like to share that for SLA we have changed the label as service level agreement and it has been populated, right? Similarly, for account number we have changed to company code, right? And we have got it. Hope this clears the thing which we have seen in creating a custom report types. Alright, so let me just add a filter. So company code. Let's start. Give it a start with and CD. Okay, let me just give a log to this, and we'll see like what's happening to this filter in later part. So we got a CD, and for service level agreement, let me just give platinum. I think it got a platinum. Let me just apply it once, and we got a single record which contains a company code and a service level agreement as we mentioned in platinum. Okay, let's try with the filter logic first. So you guys can get it right. Except the default filter, other filters which we have added can have a filter logic here. So right now it's 1 and 2. If I give like 1 or 2, hope you guys can get this thing. So if you try to give it, it showcases me the the records, whether it contains the company code or it contains a service level agreement as platinum. So this is the use of filter logic and cross filter. There we go. We have seen normal filters here, but what does a cross filter means to us? Okay. Right now we have given for account with opportunities with code. What if in case I need the account with cases for these records? Can you guys get it? So we are going out of this custom report type only for secondary object. So we can choose with account with or without, as we have seen in the custom report type. So I'll just try to give account with cases. There we go. We got two records which we have already got it. These two records will have account with cases with this. So okay, for this secondary object, if you guys think like I need to add another filter for this, we can do that. So case, let's search for owner equals, I think it's number. Oops. I'm sorry, I have given a wrong spelling here. Let me just recorrect it. There we go. So we are seeing the records based on the filters which we have given here and based on the filter logic as well as the cross filter which we have applied. So what does the cross filter means? Coming out of the box of the report types for the primary object to get a secondary object. So account with cases, and we are adding a filter additional to cases like case owner equals Nanda. So these accounts would be having a case called, would be having a case whose owner is Nanda. Alright. Okay. Add row limit. It's disabled, right? But why? Let me explain. Before that, I'll just try to add some other fields to this reports. So to add it, let me just go to the outline. Here we go. We have columns, right? This is the place where we can add or remove fields to this reports. Let me just add some fields here right now. Annual revenue we needed. So if I try to add it, yeah, there we go. We have got it. Let's add some other fields. Accounts which are active, we need to check those things, right? Because accounts which are deactivated, we don't need send reports, right? So let me add it, and I have dragged it to the second place. Okay. Each field can be able to sort based on ascending or descending. So let me just sort the annual revenue by ascending. There we go. I have sorted the annual revenue by ascending, and you can see the symbol over here. It's been sorted. And in filters, right now, if you go, you can see a row limit here. So can you guys get it? A field which is only a field when it is gets sorted, row limit will be able to visible. So if I try to add it, the maximum limit we can able to give is 10. Right now we have only 2 records, right? So just let us just give it 1 and we can have a check on it. So I'm giving it as 1 and applying it. So you can see, right, only 1 record can be visible right now. Yeah. So let's remove this for our betterments. Yeah. All right. So let's cross check with this, like what we have covered still right now. Filters we have covered, cross filters, filter logic, row limit, bucket column. There we go. So where is the report? Here it is. All right. What does a bucket column mean? Okay. Let's take an example. You're working in an organization and you are in need to create a report, but all those reports annual revenue needed to be based on an range of formats. For example, if it is less than 5 million, it should be called it as a startup organization. If it is between 5 to 10, it should be called as a mid-range organization. If it is greater than 10 million, it should be mentioned as enterprise organization. So how do you can achieve those things? That's the place bucket column helps us. So if you try to click this drop down here, you got an add bucket column here. So just have a click on it. We need to name this bucket name, right? So let's give us organization. Revenue size. All right. So we have to select a field, right? There we go. We can select here annual revenue, and we are going to range it here. If it is less than 5 million, I think it's million, right? I think it's 50. Okay. So we can add up to the ranges which we needed, and if you are okay with it, we can just remove this one. So if it is less than 5 million, as we mentioned, we can name this bucket as startup organization. If it is between 5 million to 10 million, it's a mid-level organization. If it is greater than 10 million, it's enterprise organization. There we go.
Technically, that is not 10 million, just to correct you only.
Okay, I think I have lost a 0, right?
The last one is.
Yeah. Thanks for the info flow. So you can see a checkbox here, right? What if in case if you have a 0 in annual revenue? So it will represent like a empty value and it will showcase here. So let me just apply it. There we go. So here we got both these things are enterprise organizations. So like we can add pick list values also here. For example, let's take a country. We may have various countries, right? But we have to coordinate it to a specific ranges like regions, APEC, EMEA. In such cases, we can even also add those pick list fields and we can mention it in this bucket columns. All right. If we navigate next, there we go. We have various types of reports. I mean, various types of reports we can able to create in Salesforce reports, but each format contains a name in this platform. There are 4 types of formats to create a report. They are a tabular report, summary report, matrix report, and joint reports. So let's have a look like what does a tabular report mean right now. There we go. So this is what a tabular report looks like. So what does this report showcases us? It's just a table format. It showcases us a value of data based on our filters and based on the fields which we have given. So it's nothing but a table which showcases the data for us based on our criteria. All right. Then what's a summary and matrix report? Okay. If you guys hope you guys are remembering it, while giving an example of what's a report, I would have said like I need contact details per account. So here in that case, I need account should be grouped so that if an account contains 1 or 2 opportunities, it should be listed down there. So let me just group the account name. So hope you guys can get it, or I will just remove this filter so that it will be helpful to get a clear idea about what is a summary filters. So I'm removing this also. There we go. So you can see guys, the warehouse account contains 2 opportunities in it with the codes in it. So what we have done is we have grouped the account in this report type. So we are seeing a summary of accounts which has opportunities in it with a quote in it. So this is what we call as a summary report in Salesforce. So if you guys noted previously, the row level formula and the summary level formula would be in disabled format, but right now it's available, right? Which means a summary formula can be created only when it is a summary report or matrix report. So to be short and precise, a summary report is nothing but grouping a field, grouping rows with a field. All right. Now then, what's a matrix report? Okay, we have grouped the rows with account name. Right now, let me just group it with opportunities, or I'll give it the service level agreement. There we go. So if you guys can see here, the warehouse account contains the opportunities. With silver, it contains 2 opportunities. If we take Marico, it contains an opportunity without a service level agreement. If you take United Oils and Gas Corporation, it contains an opportunity in the service with the service level agreement in platinum. So it acts as a matrix, like with the rows and columns we are playing with it. So if you try to click a specific value here, it will showcases the details below which we have given in the columns here. I'll repeat, in matrix report, if you try to click some records in this matrix format, it will display the fields which you have selected in the columns here. So this is what a matrix report is called. Alright, we have seen another report called joint reports, right? So what does that it mean? Here we go. If you click this drop down, you get a format called a normal report, that is a single report, or a joint report. So what does a joint report? It's nothing but a combination of two report types to show, two or up to 5 report types to showcase in a single report. So I think time is running, so I will showcase some briefly like what's a joint report. So there we go. This is a block which we have already developed, and we are trying to build another block with some other report types. So let me just add a block, and let me just choose with the accounts, contacts and accounts. So if I try to add this block, there we go. So here you can see the accounts and contacts which we have added here. So don't worry guys, I will give some trailhead links so that you guys can try all these things, because we need to cover few more things, right? So the time is just in limited ways. So let me just move on to the next thing, but it's as simple as we have seen right now. All right, so let me just choose the report. All right, so we need we are in of seeing a row level formula still now, and we need to create a summary level formula, as well as we need to check for the what is this chart. Okay, so reports, there we go. Let me just add a first, let's go with the row level formula. So what does a row level formula mean? If you guys think like each row contains annual revenues, right? Which means each opportunity contains some annual revenue opportunity in terms of accounts. So here my idea is to create, if the annual revenue is greater than 1, I need some notifications. So let me just add a row level formula, and let's give a name to it. Like how to do it? Valuable revenue accounts which contains revenue. And it's a good practice to write a description every time, so that whenever you're viewing a field or a formula, you can get an idea like why it's added here. So we have an output type. So right now let me give it as number, and for decimal places let me give as 0. Okay, so we got a list of fields as well as a list of functions here. Our scenario is to get the account which has values. So let me just go with if, and I will try to insert here, and the logical test is field. annual revenue is greater than 0, then what if it is true? Return me 1, or else return me 0. So once you have added your formula, you can validate it. So it's a valid formula. Let me just apply this formula. And you can see values which have contains annual revenue will get an 1, all the things will get as 0. This is nothing but we have been summarized here, right? So it gets the subtotal here. By the way, you can disable these subtotals by just clicking the toggle here. So detail rows, I think we don't close it because it deletes all the details. So let me just make it as enable. And these two things are straightforward, right? Row counts as well as grand total. So let these two things will be there. All right. So this is all about a row level formula. All right. Why it's disabled right now? Well, in Salesforce report, we have small limitations like only one row level formula can be created on an entire report. I repeat, only one row level formula can be created on the entire report. So let's the row level formula be there. Let's go with the what is like a summary report formula. So there we go. All right. Let's take the scenario. I need the win rate of opportunities here. That is, we may have closed opportunities. In closed opportunities, we may have win or lost opportunities, right? So I need a win rate of opportunities. Well, let me just give a name for it. The percent of opportunities closed 1. So let me just give it as 0 and output type is number. There we go. Closed of sum divided by I'm sorry, I have just made a collapse. Is 1. One of sum divided by closed of sum. It's not like sum alone we can get it. We have a range of summaries we can able to get it. We can able to get an average, we can able to get a min, we can able to get a max and then unique, median. For our scenario, we need sum. So let me just add sum and I'll try to insert it. And there we go. Let me just validate it once. It's good to check every time if you're creating a formula, try to validate it even if you're confident like it will validate. And let me just apply it. There we go. When we try to save this report, you can able to see the win rate percentage. The saving part is the next phase. Before that, we need to see like what is a chart. So this is a new feature which Salesforce released in few before recent release updates. So if you try to add a chart based on these groups, it will be populated here. So let me just drag down. There we go. So the account name which we have grouped here, it's grouped based on this, the annual revenue, which is a numeric field, it showcases here. So this is the chart details. If we try to make it a summary again, it gives a clear view. So do we have only this bar chart here? The answer is no. We can able to add various types of charts and mention its attributes here. So it's fun to explore these charts. After this session, just try with these charts so that you can get a clear idea like how these charts would help us. So if you guys think like right now I don't need a chart, we can remove it. It's not a big deal. So there we go. All right. Just small recap like the types of reports, report formats which we have seen right now. So a tabular report, it's nothing but a list of fields which you are showcasing in a table format. So formulas won't be supported here. Summary reports, nothing but a field grouped by row. Formulas, I mean the summary formulas and row level formulas are supported here. Matrix, similar to summary, except grouping of fields contains both rows and columns. You can able to display the fields which you have selected by just clicking the exact X and Y column, I mean the field. Joint reports, as we seen, it's a combination of report types. Up to 5 blocks can be added. So this is what report creation look like. So alright, we have seen like creating a reports, but how do I save it? Whether my colleagues can able to see these reports, or can I able to see the recurring, I mean the recurring opportunities, values every month, every week, without if in case I can able only to see in Salesforce. Can I get some mails through Outlook so that I can able to see it without logging in Salesforce? Yeah, all those things can be done. But how? Here we go. Let's have a look like how we can go to those things. Alright. Let me just save and run this report. Before that, we got a save and run, save and run. What does it mean? So if you try to run this report without saving, you can see the report how it would look like. So here it is, the total records, the total annual revenue, total valuable revenue, and win rate %, the summary formula which we have created. So according to our scenario, only 1% of opportunity is closed one with the opportunities closed. So you guys can see like how these values has been created, I mean except the summary formula, these two how it has been developed. It's nothing but in reports all the numerical values will have a summary within it. So if you just click it once, you can get the summarized format. In which format you need to summarize this. So if I try to give the average, let me just remove the sum here. And let me just run this report. There we go. We got the average annual revenue. So it's nothing but the average of the annual revenues, the data which are displaying here. Similar to this, the total valuable revenue. This is the row level formula which have been created. If we give the average, you will get 1. So this is what some of the features here. So now let's try to save and run it. Save and run. What does it differ? If you give save, it just saves the report and navigates to the same page. Same page in terms of same report builder. What if it is a save and run? We can save it and we can run the report to see the results. So let's just save and run the report. There we go. We need to give a name for the report. So let us give it as account enhancements and then unique name, nothing but the API, and report description. It contains accounts opportunities that have an report with it. Alright, here comes the folder part. So each report will be stored in a specific folder in Salesforce. So let's create a new folder and save this. So to create a new folder, click new folder, label it some account enhancements folder. Give a unique name, nothing but the API name, save it. There we go. We are in account enhancement folder. Select this folder. So this report going to be saved in a folder called account enhancement folder. And the thing to remember is each report needs a folder to save it. So let me just save this report. As we have given save and run, it should be running right now after saving it. Running is nothing but executing the report which we have developed right now. You guys may have a question like why I can't able to see my results in that report builder? No, the answer is no. It just showcases the demo purpose of the fields or values which you have given here. While you are running, you can able to see the results, that is the data up to 2000 records you can able to see here. Then how about if it is some ranges up to lakhs? We have some ways. We can able to export these reports by just clicking the drop down and export it. So it got two views. One is a formatted view which contains the details of every reports, every headers. This is a plain text, a normal details. So let's go with the formatted details and try to export this. Alright, so let me open this in folder. Let me just open this and showcase you once how it looks like. So this is how a report looks like. The exported report looks like. It contains all the headers which we have added and the filters which we have applied. Everything showcases and gives us the values here. Alright. Okay, we are running a report, we have exported it, but what in case I'm a CEO? I don't think like every time I need to log in my Salesforce org, I need to check with the reports. Does it make sense to me? Nope. But I need to see the current trends of the reports. How do it possible? So we can give it in subscribe. So what does this makes us? We can set the frequencies. So do you think the CEO requires daily reports of these things? I think no. Let us go with the weekly ones. Every week Friday the CEO tries to see those things. So let's give a time zone. If you think it's a 11, okay. These are the standard formats. So for demo purpose, let me just give 12. Attachment. Okay. Whether the CEO needs only the view of these reports or does he needs to get the attachment along with this. That's the place which you are going to mention here. If you attach file, we can select the format again, and if you click save, that the file will be attached over the email and recipients. We can add the users who are needed to be placed here. So right now I'm already there. If you think I can add Madhubala here, I can add her also. A mail would be sent to her also. Here are the conditions. So we need to send a mail, but only if the condition satisfies. For example, if the win rate is greater than 10%, I should send her or him a mail. That is what this represents. So to showcase like how a mail would be there, I'll just showcase a demo here. So this is how a mail would look like. This is a sample mail. So this is how a subscription mail would look like. It doesn't contain the attachment, so that I haven't got any attachments here. If I attach there, I will get the file which you guys seen right now. It's downloaded, right? That file will be get along in this mail. So this is what subscribing a report. Okay. What in case if I trying to share this report to one of my colleague in Salesforce? How do we share these things? We can able to do that. So let me just a moment. There we go. Here you got share, right? I'll just click share here, and I'm trying to share it with one of my colleagues. So let me just check with Madhubala, and the access for this reports to her, whether she can able to view it or she can able to edit it or manage. Manage is nothing but both view and edit. I think only she should be able to view it. So let me just give view, and if I try to click share here, the access is added to Madhubala also. So myself in the name of Nanda, I can manage here, whereas Madhubala can able to view this report. So that's it, sharing. But you guys have been wondering why I have been sharing a folder instead of a report. Because Salesforce behavior is we need to share a folder, not a report. We can't able to share a report directly. We need to share a folder. Alright. So if Madhubala opens this report, does she sees all the records which we are seeing now? If she is a system admin, she can able to see it. But what about if she is not a system admin? Only the records which she owned, which comes under this filter criteria, can be able to see. I'll repeat. Only the records which she owned, which comes under this filter criteria, will be able to see by her. So that's what the sharing of folders, storing of reports in folder, exporting reports, and subscribing to a report. Alright. We have been seeing the various formats of creating a reports, using filters, everything, sharing a report, folders, etc. But everyone can have an access to these things? Well, the answer is no. Only the users